Right, guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about Grapplefest 11, Grapplefest 11 is going to be Saturday, the 26th of February. Now, it's going to be at the usual place, so Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Now, the event is sold out, guys. There is absolutely no tickets available for this at all. It's sold out with 6 weeks to go. So yeah, you will not be able to get a ticket for the event at all. So the only place you're going to be able to see it is on Flow Grappling. So make sure if you don't have Flow Grappling, make sure you get yourself signed up for a Flow Grappling account. If you're only getting Flow Grappling just for this event, make sure you do choose the monthly option. As I said, you do have to select it. Otherwise, Flow Grappling will charge you for the full year. I think it's about £114 for the full year. So if it's only for this event, choose the monthly option. I believe it's about £12 or £14 for it. So it's going to be Daisy Fresh versus Europe. So Daisy Fresh is coming over with a team of absolute animals and taking on some of the best guys in Europe across all belts. So promised to be a great event, prelims, and then obviously main card as well. So obviously my next guest, Philippe Geyer of BJJ Team Basel, is going to be coming over and obviously putting on a show for us as well. The good thing, obviously, we've got some footage of Philippe. Anybody that wants to have a look at some old footage, obviously some wrestling footage, a couple of jiu-jitsu matches in there. So you'll be able to get a little glimpse of what kind of Philippe's all about and what he's going to bring to Grapplefest on the 26th. So Philippe, listen, absolute pleasure to have you on, sir. How are you doing?
Thanks, man. First of all, thanks for having me. Everything's fine. Doing good.
Mate, you're looking well. You're looking fresh.
Yeah, training's going pretty good. Still training here in Switzerland, so that's a huge plus for me.
Yeah,
so, yeah, doing good.
What kind of restrictions, obviously, in Basel? What do you have any restrictions in regards to training at all? Because I know that in the UK, we over the last 2 years, it's been absolutely horrible for training. As I said, unless you were a professional athlete, like a professional MMA fighter or that, you couldn't train. So, I mean, was it similar to yourselves in Basel?
Yeah, definitely. Because now you're only allowed to train when you're like fully recovered or like vaccinated.
Yeah.
And or boosted. Yeah, and if not, you're just allowed to train with a mask. So yeah, but you're still allowed to train. So. Yeah, that's nice.
What about obviously wearing a mask? Because obviously if you're not vaccinated and you're having to wear a mask, it can be very restrictive, obviously, because a lot of what we do, we have to rely on breathing and things like that. So, I mean, how restrictive was that?
To be honest, I don't really like drilling with a mask. So I mostly try to go live or rolling. So I'm boosted, so I'm allowed to train without a mask. So it's fine for me.
Nice. So then, obviously, Grapplefest then. So Grapplefest just around the corner, 26th of February. Obviously, a massive event. I mean, as I said, obviously going on Flow Grappling and things like that. So it's going to be around the world. A lot of people are going to be watching it. So how did you find out then that you were going to be on Grapplefest?
Actually, I trained with Chris like last summer for 2 months in Malaga. So since then, we just stayed in touch, and then I got the message. Yeah, really grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah. It's a massive event as well. I mean, Grapplefest is getting bigger and bigger every time they put on an event. And this event, obviously, Daisy Fresh versus obviously some of the best people in Europe. You're going to have things like you're going to have Dante Leon, Mikey Musumeci, Kendall Rusin, Fionn Davies, and so on. So how important is it for you to be on a card with people of that caliber?
Of course, it's really important. I think that's really, really cool for like more like the color belts, like blue belts, purple belts, to try to get their name out. So yeah, I think the card looks really good from the prelim zone. So yeah, that's going to be fun.
We were talking as well. I mean, a lot of grapplers I talked to, we looked at the prelim card, and the prelim card itself could be a main event in a lot of other promotions.
Yeah, definitely. I think the same, because I feel like the level here in Europe gets better and better. So there's a lot of really good guys, and also purple belts or brown belts as well. So yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
Daisy Fresh is cool as well. You obviously you've been wrestling since you were a kid. So,
Yeah.
and the Daisy Fresh guys, some of these guys are coming over and they're like high school wrestling teams, and they're very, very high championship wrestlers in the US. So, so is it going to be cool for you maybe to share some mat time with these guys as well, and maybe have a little wrestle about before your own match?
Yeah, that would be great because I'm a big fan of these guys, especially like the Pixley one. I think he has
Yeah.
really, really great wrestling for jiu-jitsu. So that would be cool, definitely.
Yeah, I'd say there are a lot of really good guys. I'd say when you look at the list, I mean, you've got like Jared Schaefer, you've got Spatch, Michael Pixley, Tad Cravens, all very accomplished wrestlers. And then obviously come into jiu-jitsu, and they've just been absolutely smashing it in jiu-jitsu, world champion, no gi, and so on.
Yeah, right. Because I feel like wrestling is a really good base for jiu-jitsu. So that's a big crossover, definitely.
And I'd say anybody that wants to have a look at you, I mean, I'd say go on YouTube and just Google your name. I'd say a lot of the wrestling stuff was from when you were younger. When I say younger, obviously you were a kid, obviously up to maybe a few years ago. So, and there's a lot of some really awesome videos of you, obviously wrestling, some jiu-jitsu stuff in there as well.
Yeah, right. I started wrestling when I was 12, and since then I haven't really stopped because now I'm only training jiu-jitsu, but it really helps my jiu-jitsu. So yeah, I still enjoy it, definitely.
Nice. And then obviously your opponent on the night then. So do you ever worry about who your opponent is, or are you more just concentrate on your game and don't really worry about anything else?
Actually, I don't really care, but I think it's not false to like watch some tape. I don't know a lot about him actually. I think to be fair, he looks more like a guard puller. He's like more of a tall guy, so we're gonna anticipate him pulling guard. So yeah, and I think he won his last fight by Dars. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I know. So we'll see.
Listen, it's that thing on the night. I mean, as I said, obviously you're going to come in, you're going to have your own game plan, you're going to do your own thing. So obviously you'll adapt to whatever happens, whether it be a guard pull or attempted takedowns or whatever. So never worry about the opponent, never at all. So and then what about you then? Going forward, 2022 now, this is going to be our first full year, hopefully, of grappling competitions. So, because obviously the last 2 years, 2020, we had a lockdown. 21, we had a lockdown. So, hopefully, 2022 is going to be the year of grappling. So, what kind of things are you looking forward to doing then this year?
I think the next big thing I'm gonna do is the gi Europeans. It's like 1 week before Grapplefest. So currently we train also a lot in the gi. So and afterwards, obviously Grapplefest. And I think in March, mid-March, there's gonna be the Grand Slam in London. Maybe gonna do the one as well. And then in May, gonna do the ADCC trials again. Yeah, I think that's the plan.
And what about you? I mean, you mentioned obviously gi and no gi things there. So what's your preference? What do you prefer?
To be fair, I like both. But I feel like if I train a lot in the gi, for example, I really look forward to train no gi again. And yeah, when I train a lot of no gi, I really look forward to training in the gi. But like competition-wise, I enjoy no gi a little bit more, I would say, because I feel like it's a more like a fast-paced match and more of a scrambling match. Yeah, and I really enjoy that. So I think competition-wise, I like no gi more than the gi.
And again, in regards to competitions, because again, obviously you got Grapplefest, submission only, but you mentioned obviously things like the Europeans, the IBJJF, and so on. I mean, again, what's your preference? Do you like the kind of points game system, or do you more kind of lean towards the submission only stuff?
To be honest, I've never done any like sub only matches, so I'm really used to the points matches. I've done the ADCC trials last September, and I really like this kind of rule set because it obviously favorites the wrestler.
Yeah.
So, of course, the submission is always the goal, so it shouldn't change anything. Yeah. So I really enjoy, like, probably both.
So competition is competition, regardless if it's for points or submissions. As I say, the competition is the main thing for yourself. Good. And then what about you then? So final thing for you then, Philippe, anybody you want to shout out to? So you've been in the game for a number of years now, obviously wrestling, jiu-jitsu and so on. So anybody you want to shout out to? So any kind of friends, family members, teammates, or even any sponsors that you may have as well?
Of course, shout out to my sensei, Claude Jager, Philippe Geyer, Deme, like the whole BJJ Team Basel squad. Yeah, just want to shout out them. And of course, shout out to Chris for giving me the opportunity. Definitely really grateful for that one. Yeah. That's it.
And guys, obviously, Team BJJ Team Basel is on Facebook, so obviously have a look at their page. Some really awesome grapplers coming out of Team Basel, so definitely have a look at that. And anybody that's in, obviously over visiting, obviously hit these guys up. Go in and get some rolls. As I say, you will get some awesome rolls with some of these guys, so definitely hit them up. But Philippe, we're looking forward to seeing you. Definitely looking forward to seeing you on the 26th.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. I'll be there on the night, so we'll obviously grab a chat and things like that on the night as well. So, but listen, guys, Grapplefest 11, so 26th of February. That's Saturday, the 26th of February. The doors open about 3 o'clock, so make sure around about 3ish. So make sure you're in there. Grapplefest is very punctual with their fight times. The first fight, I believe, 4 p.m. So make sure you're in there, getting a space, so obviously you're quite close to the action. So we're going to see Philippe Geyer, BJJ Team Basel on the night. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing Philippe. So Philippe, thank you again for obviously taking the time to speak to me, buddy.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
You too. Stay safe, and we'll see you next month, okay?
Bye-bye.
Take care, buddy.